Good morning, everyone. This is Linda with Linda Sue Plants for You. Today I am going to do something a little different out of the ordinary for me. It's actually something that it's out of my comfort zone, let's put it that way. I don't like to put my mess on my videos. I like to have things in order when I'm going to be recording. But, you know, I've been thinking a lot about that, and I know that a lot of people will appreciate that my things are not always in order, just like most average people. So I thought I am just going to go ahead and do my before video and let you know what I'm planning on doing, and also I want to give you a few updates. Some people have requested from me on some of the projects that I've done in the past. So that's what today's video is going to be about. We're going to do the living room and kitchen and dining room. And like I said, this is the before video. I want to start by showing you this table because it's kind of a family joke. This is my dining room table that I fell in love with when I first got it. It's one of the few things that I bought new many years ago. It seats 8 comfortably. And it has become my workspace because it's just me and my husband now, and we usually end up eating in the living room while we're watching TV, watching the news or what have you. So that's kind of, you know, how it's evolved over the years. And I know a lot of people that when they get older they end up doing that, so I don't feel so bad about it. It kind of gives us a chance to talk and be together, and well, I guess we could do that at the table too, but you know, there's so much stuff here, and by the time I get it cleaned off enough to make us a spot, I'm all worn out. So that's how that evolved. But anyway, this is my dining room. This is my east window and my south window. And we added this room actually onto our home, and we put those windows in the corner there on purpose because I always thought that was so neat to have corner windows. And my husband and I did that with our own hands many years ago when we were younger. And I'm so happy that we were able to do that. Alright, let's start with, I'm going to start with my kitchen wall here. This is one that I was getting ready to redo this room before I became so sick. I wanted to, as you'll see as we're going through the rooms, if you don't already know, I kind of had the Tuscan Italian look going on here, and I wanted to change this. It's been like this for, oh my goodness, 20 some years, and I wanted to turn it into a coffee room. So, and I'm still going to do that someday, but for right now I have a lot of other things that absolutely have to be done. So I'm working on that, and once that I get done with that, then I'll bring you the update on that, God willing. Which, by the way, I need to thank you all for sticking with me through my downtime. I am on day 7, my friends. Day number 7 of feeling good, being on my feet, and up at 6:30 in the morning and going till 8, 9 o'clock at night, and that is unbelievable. So thank you so much for your prayers. Thank you for your kind comments. When you comment to me that you're thinking about me and that you're feeling better, you're happy when I'm feeling better, that means a whole lot to me in my day. So thank you for that. All right, so let's just move on here. This is my golden pothos. She's not near as full as she used to be. She does not get enough light over here. So that's that. I don't know if I'm going to leave her there or not. I may do something different with that. And then this, of course, is my peace lily. It's a variegated peace lily, and it's got really nice, deep texture. It almost feels like plastic. And as you can see, she's got some flowers coming up. I do need to move this. She was put here temporarily, and she's in our walkway, so I need to put her somewhere, and I think she's going to go in the living room. And then moving into the dining room, this corner, these are my Hoya Crimson Princess, and I wasn't sure when I put these here if they were going to be okay with that light, but they are thriving. I mean, they are growing profusely. I'm so excited about that, and actually my daughter has asked for some cuttings, so that's on my list of things to do. And this is the kind of thing I'm talking about that makes me crazy. I do have a place for these things, my friends, and now that I'm feeling better, I can put them in their place, and I'll be glad to get them out of here. These are just, I will go through these plants in a little more detail when I do my actual tour. For right now, I'm just trying to give you an overview of what I'm looking at and what I'm planning on doing. And I hope that you all will come back and see the finished product. And in the meantime, this is what I got. There's my soil sitting on the floor. Doesn't belong there. But I had it on the table because I do have a lot of repotting to do. But yesterday my daughter took me to run some errands, and we bought a few plants while we were out and about, and I had nowhere to put them. Plus I got a unboxing. I received my Logi's plants yesterday, so I needed to make room on my table for that. This is a shelving unit that we got at a rummage sale probably 30 years ago. We paid $5 for it. It was red. We painted it, and my husband put the grating in the bottom that houses all my cookbooks. I used to be a very, very avid cooker. My granddaughter used to say, "Grandma, you're a good cooker." I used to love to cook. Alright, so now you can see part of some of the Tuscan, things that these are antiques too, these plates, and they're beautiful. But I want to redo this shelf. I want to put more, I want to have some fuller plants and take up that wall space there. I want to fill that all with greenery at some point. So that's one of my projects. And then, oh, these are pictures that my husband took when he was in Italy. I don't know if you can see them, but they were of the streets of Italy. So I made copies and I framed them and put them in my Italian dining room. Okay. And then these are plants that I just stuck here because I had nowhere to put them. And I had two other plants down there that were not doing well. They are in my plant hospital right now. And then as we move here, here's another lamp that I stuck here because I had nowhere to put it. And I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with my lamps because, like I said, I'm going to be redoing this. My goal is I want to bring my very favorite plants that I have in here into my living room, and I'm hoping that there's going to be enough light. But, I only see these like once or twice a day when I come in here to check on my plants or to water them, and it's not enough. I'm sitting in my living room at night, sometimes if we're watching the news or whatever, and I'm thinking about my begonias and how beautiful they are, and I wish I could look at them. So instead of wishing, I'm just going to put them in the living room so I can look at them at night when I'm sitting down and resting for the evening. Oh, I do want to show you my lipstick plant. This too has to be repotted, but it was full of flowers, friends. A couple days ago, it was blooming everywhere. I think you can see that. Oh, they were just gorgeous, bright, bright red. Some of them have since dried up, but yeah, just beautiful. My string of pearls. This plant is way overdue for repotting. I have something special in mind that I think I'm going to do with this. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I will show it to you when it's done. And next to that is my string of bananas, which is, it's very full. It goes all the way down to the floor. And some of you may have seen my video that I did when I took one of these strands that was kind of sparse, as this is, and I wound it around the top of the pot, and I secured it with hairpins, and now look at the growth. Gorgeous. It's important to keep the soil moist. Don't pour the water in because you're going to rot the roots on the rest of the plant. But spray the top. If you do this method, where you wind the plant around the top and secure it to the soil, you got to keep it moist, so you got to spray it. And that's how you get the new growth. So, and then this plant, this was a cutting from Suzette, and when I just repotted it, I think a week ago, maybe a little better. And I put it in a terracotta pot inside the plastic one because I thought the plastic one was going to be too big of a jump. And she let me know that I should have just gone ahead and put it in that plastic pot because it grows so quick. And she was right, as always. So I'm going to be repotting that one too. My Cebu Blue. I had this in the living room, and I had it in my south window. And the leaves started to fade on it, and then some of them turned yellow, and I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. And then I realized might be too much light. So I put that a sheer curtain, I pulled it kind of in between the window and the plant, and that helped. But then as we got closer to spring and the sun got hotter, it started to do it again. So I took it out of that window and I brought it back here in my east window, and it is getting its color back. It looks much better than it did, and I'm not sure if you can see that, but you'll just have to trust me. It is far better than it was even a week ago. So a little pointer for you all, that if you have Cebu Blue and you're having problems, that might be it. Maybe too much light. And then down here, of course, we have a mixture of plants, mostly begonias. This is my begonia corner, but I'm going to be taking some of these into the living room very, very soon. In the next few days, I hope. And there's another string of pearls. And then in the corner you can see my Cissus rhombifolia, and this plant is just growing like a weed. It's growing everywhere. So I want to get that string of pearls out of there. I want to just give this corner to this plant and see how that goes. And then moving over to my south window, you can see I'm not going to go through each plant today. I don't want to take that much time on each one because I'm going to be doing the other room, you know, showing you the living room, and I don't want this to turn into a 3-hour video. These ponytail palms, I purchased that so with the sole purpose of dividing that up for my girls. And my kangaroo paw fern, those of you that view my past videos, you will know that I was just devastated because I thought this was gone. I see I'm having a few more problems here with these leaves, but I'm not going to worry about it because I have very nice growth on here. I've got green stems, I've got a new leaf, and this is also a new leaf. Oh, and it feels so healthy. It's so stiff and full of life. And there's another new leaf right here. And this is also a new leaf right here. So, and there's a couple in there that are new. So I think she's going to be okay. Going to keep a close eye on her. I don't know if you remember when I first bought this and brought it home. I was so excited. It was so full and so beautiful. And it did fine for months and months, and then all of a sudden it started to decline. And I think it was Suzette maybe that might have told me that she thought maybe these go dormant. And I think she might be right on that. So we'll just see what happens. I'm not giving up on her until there's absolutely no life left, and I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, so this is just a collection of different things back here that you've all seen before. And I'm not going to go through each plant. I do want to point out this one though, because I'm pretty excited about this. This is these are cuttings I took from my Tradescanthia baby bunny bellies, and I didn't think they were going to make it. For the longest time I had them in this pot, and I just was kind of babying them and watering them every once in a while, and they just weren't doing anything. It looked like they were dead. But I just left them alone, and lo and behold, they perked up, and you can see the growth on there now. I mean, it's really perked up. And next to that, of course, is my Ficus elastica, and also known as rubber tree. That's grown a lot in the last year. A lot. And behind that is my in need of water peace lily. And up there is my Mandula pothos and my strawberry begonia, and behind that is another heartleaf philodendron. Alright. I'm going to get myself back into the... Oh, and I wanted to show you this one too. This is my heartleaf philodendron. She's all the way down to the floor. I absolutely love this plant, and I love the stand that it's in. My husband made that for me. Just gorgeous. I just love it. Okay. And for those of you that didn't see my video from yesterday, this is my beautiful lemon lime Maranta. I was thrilled when I found this, and if you want to hear the story behind it, then watch the video from yesterday. It's quite interesting. And then my plants from Logis, my long-awaited Begonia maculata Whittii. I've been wanting this plant for 2 years, and I finally got it. And then there's another begonia down there that I'm Can't wait for it to get big. It's very pretty. It's gold and orange and yellow. And then this is my Hawaiian jasmine. It's Madagascar jasmine. And this is a beautiful plant. So I can't wait for it to flower. I hope I can get it to flower. Alright, so moving on to the kitchen. At some point I want to put some plants up on my refrigerator, but because this beam is here, it kind of blocks the sunlight for most of the day, so I'm not sure what I can put up there. I'm going to have to research and see what kind of plants. It's also very warm up there, so I'm going to have to do some research on that one. But that's one of my future plans. And then trying to move slow so I don't make you all dizzy. This is my Sansevieria table. You've all seen that. My elephant pictures. Oh, and you gotta see this. This is the plant hanger that my daughter bought me for, I think it was my birthday. My birthday and Christmas are a week apart, so I sometimes get those mixed up, but I'm pretty sure it was for my birthday. It's a really beautiful stand. And we hung it up, and my goal was to, as you can tell, I'm really a Maranta lover. I have really come to appreciate these plants, and I love them when they cascade down. My hope is that this whole wall will be filled, and that it'll just look like a waterfall of leaves. The thing of it was, there's two baskets on this stand. I don't know if you can see that. And they were so close together here, I couldn't fit this plant in there. So my hubby, being the handyman that he is, he says, well, that's no problem, I'll just make it longer. So he took it outside, and he happened to have the same size rods that were on there, and he welded them in. And we haven't painted it yet, but no big deal. And I probably won't even, because it's going to be covered with plants anyway. But he did a nice job on that. He's so handy. I'm so fortunate, so blessed to have him. And let's see. And come to think of it, we've got an anniversary coming up pretty soon in May. This is my behind my sofa. This table my husband built. I know that you can't see that right now, but I'll try to get the best I can. I found this tablecloth. I was actually looking for a dark green or dark brown tablecloth so that you wouldn't really notice the table part of it. And I came across this in the fabric department at Walmart. And I was so excited. I said, well, I'll just take that. I took the last piece. It was on a roll, and she measured it out, and I had just enough, so it was meant for me. And this is my China doll and my Salome. And behind that is my Sansevieria and my Ficus lyrata, or fig leaf, and another rubber tree. And then behind that is my beautiful Monstera that I got from Suzette's Gardens. She sent that to me as a gift last summer. And look at how full and gorgeous. It was a cutting from her plant. And then moving over to my south window is a lot of this I want to redo. My Stromanthi's probably going to have to be moved probably this weekend because the sun is getting too hot for that there. And I wanted to show you my lipsticks. This is my curly lipstick, my variegated curly lipstick, and I've got flowers all over. And you can see, I hope you can see the ones that aren't open yet but about to open. And they're all over the whole plant. I know it's kind of hard to see with the backlighting, but hopefully you can. But oh, that made me so excited. This is one of the plants that people have asked for an update on. This is my burro's tail, or donkey tail, I forget. There is a difference, I guess, between the two, but I forget what it is. But she's doing great. I repotted her a while ago, and I know there was some concern about that, and so I wanted to let you know that it is doing fine. She's growing. She's healthy, and she's getting a lot of new shoots on the top. I don't know if you can tell. You can kind of see the lighter green. Those are all new shoots, folks, since I repotted her. So she's doing great. And then I have a lot of miscellaneous. I wanted this to be my cactus window, but I've had to move things just because there are certain cactus, I guess, and things that I had here that the light was even, my Thanksgiving cactus I had here, and they started doing really good, and then the leaves started to fade, and then I realized the sun was too bright. So I moved them, and I'm waiting for that to come back. And then as you can see, I have a lot of Pilea peperomoides. I love that plant. This is the one my granddaughter bought me for Christmas. I don't know if you guys remember. That was really, really tiny, and it's growing. And this is my big one. Let's see if I can get away from it. She's huge. And I've got lots of new growth inside there. And babies. I'm going to show you one of my fails, and this makes me really sad. If you guys have been following me, you know that this was very nice looking, and then I went and cut it back because it was getting tall and spindly, and I've done that before and had no problem. This time it didn't work so good, and I think it's because the shelf I had it on wasn't getting natural sunlight. It was only getting the LED light, and it was cold in here, and we had days, 3-4 straight days of no sun coming in, and I think that's what happened. But it's okay. I'll be able to bring it back. One of them is actually starting to perk up already, and if these don't make it, that's okay. I'll just wait until these get a little bigger, and I'll cut them back and start over. In fact, you can see, I think, already that there is some new growth already sprouting from where I took the cuttings. So she'll be okay. I feel kind of bad because this is my husband's plant, and I didn't want to ruin it, but I was trying to make it fuller for him. But it's all right. I'll fix it. Okay, and this is my goldfish plant. There's no goldfish on it right now. She was covered in beautiful bright orange goldfish flowers, and I didn't realize it, but she was very, very dry. She's another one of my projects. This pot is way too small for her. I'm watering her every day, and that I shouldn't have to do that. So I'm going to be putting her in a bigger pot, and then hopefully she'll get flowers again. And then, oh, of course, I can't pass up my Marantas. My husband says I'm going to be the Maranta queen one of these days, and I said, oh, that would be okay with me. These are my red Marantas, and I almost lost those. I was overwatering them, and that's never been a problem for me. I usually underwater everything, and so I had to take them out. And again, thanks to my friend Susie, we talk almost every day, so I was telling her I don't know what the heck's going on with these, and she says, well, it sounds like maybe you might have overwatered, and she knows I'm an underwaterer by nature, so it made me think. She said, have you taken them out and looked at the roots at all? And I said, no, but I probably better. Well, I did, and sure enough, she was right again. It was soaking wet. I don't know how I did that, but I did. So I took them all out of their pots, and I laid them in a bowl and let them dry out. And then I put them back in their pots, and now they're doing beautiful again. Thank goodness. I would have cried if I'd have lost these. All right. And, you know, I'd like to mention, this was my grandma's piano, and the reason I don't have plants on it is because she would never allow anything on this except greeting cards when I was growing up, because she just cherished it, and she didn't want it to get ruined. So out of respect for her, I do not put anything on there but what you see. I am looking to sell this piano. It takes up about a quarter of my living room, and I'm not able to play anymore because of my health issues. I don't know, probably you may have noticed or may not, but I get periods of time where my hands shake, and I have no control over that, and they just don't work the way I need them to sometimes. So it's a sad thing for me if I sit down and try and play and I can't. So and no one else in my family plays, and no one else in my family wants the piano. So I am going to try and sell it. I have been looking on the internet, and I have seen this piano similar in the same brand, anywhere from $2,000 to $20,000. So I have no idea what this is worth. If any of my viewers has any knowledge, or if you know of anyone that would be willing to do an appraisal for me, please let me know, because I definitely don't want to give it away, you know, but I'm not looking to get rich off of it either. I want it to go to a good home and someone who's going to take as good care of it as we did and get as much use out of it as we did years ago. And I've been told by other piano players that have played on this that it's got a very, very unique and beautiful sound. So I don't know if that'll help, but all right. Then moving along here, we've got more plants that you guys have seen quite a few times. This is my my Belgian waffle, purple waffle plant, and it's really, really grown. It's gotten so big. You've got the beautiful purple underneath. My daughter has asked for a cutting of that, so that's another thing on my list to do. And then you saw me just do this. I forget the name of this. Isn't that terrible? But I just repotted this recently. And ginseng, that's what it is. Ginseng. Little froggy. And he's doing very well. And my calathea, or calathea table. Some of these desperately need repotting. So I'm going to be working on that. And there's my mother plant, Tradescantia, baby bunny bellies. It's growing all the way down the wall. And this, I didn't mean to zoom in there. Let me zoom back out. This is like an hourglass shaped basket. It's a vintage basket my husband brought home. And I just stuck it up there for now with my plant in there. I'm not too crazy about the way it looks. I'm probably going to do something different with that. So, you know, I've got a lot going on, folks. A lot of things I have to do, and I'm excited that I'm able to do them. This is my other monstera that I grew from a cutting I ordered in the mail like 2 years ago. And it took forever to take off. I almost lost it. I almost killed it a couple of times. But this last year, it has just gone crazy. You can see how big the leaves are. I mean, it's really, the top of it is gorgeous. But from about the middle down, it's bare. So that plant that I got yesterday from Stein's is going to be going in this pot. Well, I'm probably going to have to put it in a bigger pot, but that's okay. Because I want to fill this in at the bottom. That I don't like all that bareness. And then this shelf is, it's a mess. I don't know what else to say about it. It's a mess, folks. And I really, you know, I can't wait to be able to tackle it. And that's what my plan, my goal is here now for the next few days. As I said, I want to bring some of my my begonias in here. I'm just hoping that they're going to get enough light. But I'll be keeping a close eye on them. Oh, my Adansonii is really taking off. That's got to be repotted. And but it's very healthy and growing great. That was a small cutting, and it's really gotten big. And here's my Thanksgiving cactus. Well, you know, I had them on the TV, and they were doing okay, but they weren't growing. So I put them in my south window, figuring, well, they're cactus, and they were doing okay in the winter, but as soon as that sun started getting hotter, I was watching them get lighter and lighter in color, and I thought, uh-oh. And sure enough, it was too much sun. So just a word of warning to you, if you are having fading going on with your plants, you might want to check that. That's not always the reason, but it's usually the last thing that would go through my mind. And maybe it needs to start to be in the forefront of my mind. But the color is starting to come back already, and I've only had them over on this shelf for 1 day. So I'm sure they'll be fine. And then I have my bird's nest fern, and I've got a peperomia back there. And my husband brought me this plant home. It's a, oh, darn it, I know that like the back of my hand. Pink polka dot. It's a polka dot plant. And he brought that home for me when I wasn't feeling well, and he was trying to cheer me up, and I just thought that was so special of him. Not sure where I'm going to put that yet. And I got my Aguilema down there, and she's doing okay. She's actually doing very well down there, so I might just leave her there. I don't know what it is about that plant. I don't get too excited about it. I just, I don't know. I've never gotten real excited about these. I think this was one of those, let me see if I can show you the whole. I think this is one of those winter buys. You know, when you really got the winter blues and you're looking for a plant and they got the same thing every time you go, but you're not going to go home without it, without a plant. That's what this was. So, but she's doing very well, so we're just going to probably leave her there. She likes it there. Yeah, and this update is my watermelon peperomia. She's been up, she's been down, she's been up, she's been down. I'm starting to think, you know, I once heard, well, I've heard several people now say that they believe that some plants are just sick from the day they're born and they're nothing but problems. And I think this is one of them. I had this grown into such a big, beautiful orb. It was almost perfectly round with leaves. It was gorgeous. And all of a sudden, and I have no idea why I didn't change anything that I was doing, but it just started to decline. It did not have any kind of bugs. I thought it was fungus, but I found out that it wasn't. That's just, this plant just does get these brown spots on the back. So I was spraying it. Well, I took it out of the terracotta pot and put it back in plastic, and that seemed to help, which surprises me, but it did. And now it's coming back again. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I did take a cutting from this just to see if starting over with a new cutting might help, but I'm not holding my breath on that one. And then this is the top of my TV. These plants all need addressing. Again, I just stuck them there because I had nowhere to put them at the time, and I've just been watering them, but they need tending too. This one actually needs to be repotted, and this one just took off. I don't know what's going on with that. Not one of my favorite plants either, but all right. So that's it with that, and then moving over to my shelf that I told you all I was going to be redoing this and filling it up with all my ferns. Well, shortly after I told you that, I realized somebody came over to the house and opened the door, and they left it open, and that cold wind was blowing in, and I thought, I better not put my ferns there. You know, some plants can handle that, some can't, and ferns do not like cold drafts, so I'm changing my mind on that one. This is my golden pothos, although she's not so golden anymore. Doesn't get enough light. But that's okay. She's beautiful. Isn't she beautiful? I mean, the leaves are huge. And they're getting bigger. And this plant I almost lost too a while ago. Actually, she does not like well water. And once I started using distilled water, she started growing like crazy. So that saved that plant. And she has grown up to the top and back down again. And she's on her way back up. And I think we're going to start to train her up our wall here. We have cathedral ceilings in here. And that's my cedar roof. And I think we're going to bring these plants up so that they can grow along this wall. Alright, I think that's pretty much it for now. This whole shelf's going to be redone, and I'm not even sure if it's still going to be here because my husband has another shelf he brought home that he's working on in the garage, and he thinks he wants to put it here, but I don't think we're going to because it's bigger, and this one barely fits here as it is. So I don't know where we're going to go with that, but as of right now, this is what I have. My black pagoda lipstick. I just moved that there recently and it started growing much better. So we're going to leave that there probably for a while. And I got a little Hoya down there that's not doing real great. And that's about it, folks. My shelf that my husband made. And some people have asked me why I don't put plants up there. I don't know. I can't bring myself to do that, only because I really want to enjoy and appreciate the workmanship of what he did. And if I put a lot of plants on that, it'll kind of, I'm afraid it'll take away from that. Oh, and that's a wall hanging that I made along many, many years ago. So I don't know. Maybe someday, I don't know. And those are real dried roses. I always keep, whenever my husband brings me roses, I dry them and I replace them every year because they too get dirty and dusty, and that's what that is. So okay, I think I've covered everything. I think you've got a good handle on everything that I'm planning on doing, along with all my messes and my challenges, along with my successes. And I just want to thank everybody for supporting me, and like I said, not just with my channel and my plants, but also emotionally. You probably will never know how much your comments mean to me when I'm having a downtime. So thank you for that. And for those of you that don't know me, if you've never seen any of my videos, I think I've got 90 some videos out now. And if you'd like to see more of the future ones, hit the subscribe button. And if you like my video and you want to give me a thumbs up, that would also be very much appreciated. So, alright, I think we're going to say goodbye for now. And I will be back. I'm probably going to do a few repotting videos in the next day or two. I know some of you really love those, so I don't know that I'll be repotting everything that I'll be recording everything I repot, because I'd probably have 20 hours of repotting videos, but I will do some. And I don't know. We'll see what else we have in mind here. I hope you all have a great rest of your Friday and a wonderful weekend. If I don't come to you before then, have a great weekend. Enjoy your friends and your family. And thank you again for coming. Bye now.